Nico Robin has officially joined the Straw Hat Pirates. Now, out of everybody in Alabasta, she would have been the person I would have put my money on the least in joining Luffy's crew. I just didn't see it coming at all, besides maybe Crocodile, obviously. But I would have expected Toto to join the Straw Hats before she did. But it turns out that she actually wanted to join the crew, and she's an archaeologist looking for the real history, or the true history. And that's the reason she joined Crocodile in the first place, or other vigilantes, is to get closer to the truth, whatever that is, some sort of real history that she's after. She was looking for the real Rio Poneglyph is essentially what she was looking for in Alabasta. And once that wasn't discovered, and she found that didn't bring her any closer to the real history that she's looking for, she was going to sort of accept her death down in the royal tomb. But Luffy actually saved her, and as penance for Luffy saving her, she's now joined the Straw Hats, basically saying because she wanted to die and he made her live, that's his punishment. That's basically what he owes her, for her to join the crew. Yeah, but now we have an archaeologist on board. But like I said, Nico Robin, out of everybody, was the person I probably would have guessed least would have joined the Straw Hats besides Crocodile. But it's really exciting. She's so different than the other members of the Straw Hats. She has a completely different background to everybody else, besides maybe Zoro. But I think with her, she's a bit more notorious. She probably has a bit of a darker history, considering the sort of people that she's been running with, And I don't know. I think she's going to add an interesting dynamic to the Straw Hats. Whenever anybody joins the gang, it's always cool to see how they sort of affect the dynamic if they do. It was different when Sanji first joined, or Zoro, or Nami, or Chopper. The dynamic slightly changes and everyone sort of interacts differently with each other. So I'm excited to see how she interacts with all the different members of the Straw Hat Pirates. I mean, she's already managed to win everybody over pretty much, except for Zoro. She sort of played them like a book, pretty much. She played them like a fiddle. I mean, Luffy, Chopper, and Usopp, she sort of got their trust just by amusing them, because they're just easy to please. I think if you make them laugh and stuff like that and you entertain them, they'll be happy with you. Nami, she gave her some jewels because, she knows she's money hungry. Sanji is just in love with every woman that enters the ship. But the only person that isn't fully trusting of her right now, of course, is Zoro. He's not particularly too sure about her yet. So I'm interested to see if she manages to sway him in some way. But really, I'm just excited to learn more about the history of Robin. We still don't really know anything about her, to be honest, besides the fact that she's an archaeologist that became a criminal at the age of 8. And yeah, she's looking for this real history thing. But I think there's going to be a lot more to her character, and I'm excited to sort of explore that and see what she's all about. In this episode, it was also the final send-off to Vivi and Alabasta, as Vivi headed back to Alabama because she has a massive mission ahead of her now, and that is rebuilding Alabasta after everything that Crocodile has done, everything this army has done to the country. It's going to take a long time to rebuild, and it's not going to be a simple process, but it's something that Vivi is now committed to, and I'm excited to see potentially in the future, if the Straw Hats ever do return, if we get to see the progress that Alabasta makes as a country, see where Vivi goes and all that sort of stuff. Toto, Koza. There's a lot of people I want to see in the future and see sort of where they go, because I'm very attached to this place now after everything it's been through. I can't wait to see its rebuild and where it goes. The other big twist at the end of this episode was the fact that Pell is alive somehow. How in the world did he survive that? It was a massive explosion directly below him. Like, how is he not obliterated into a million pieces? Either he's the most durable character in the world, or he dropped it or something like that, or he managed to shield himself or something. Then again, Igaram survived that explosion on the boat, so maybe anything's possible. I don't know, but that was great to see the fact that Pell's still alive. I hope we get to see Vivi see him again and thank him. We get that sort of interaction. I hope we get to see that. We'll have to see. But yeah, Nico Robin is now part of the Straw Hat Pirates. I could not have predicted that in a million years, but I'm very excited to see where it goes. So let's do it.